learn the guiding norms, the Constitution, the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act, and the National Assembly Standing Orders. I know that I was told by our immediate former leader of majority, Aden Duale, that MP for Garissa, who then said to me, if you don't learn the standing orders, you then will not have any confidence and you won't be able to speak up. So if you know the standing orders, it gives you more confidence to be able to address the House. Thank you for that advice, Leader. Secondly, manage the NGCDF well, and for the women representatives, the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, because if you manage that well, you surely will be re-elected. 3, listen to your people. Unfortunately, most MPs wait until the last year of their term in Parliament to start doing what they call listening to the ground. Nasikiza ground. Start listening now to the people you represent, or else you will live to regret. I know, and when we talk about listening to the ground and representing your people, it doesn't necessarily mean even it's being their voice at a national platform. You have to be their voice. I know some people one time said, but Gladys didn't campaign much on the ground. And I said to them, I've been campaigning for 4 years. When I was involved in the BBI campaign, that was representing my people. When I was involved in the Inua Mama campaign, that was representing my people. So representing your people doesn't necessarily confine you to interacting personally with them, but being their voice at the national level. When I made TV appearances, it was not for showbiz. I was the voice of my people at the national stage, the people that I represent. And number 4, be present. It does not, one of the issues you will realize here, that many of the persons who have been elected to Parliament, in this 13th Parliament, are either patrons of the NCDF, or they were personal assistants of the Member of Parliament, or they were maybe the chairperson of the board. Why? Because that was the person closest to the people. So it is important to be present. Don't just send a check to the ground with your personal assistant. Believe me, they'll replace you soon enough. And do not agree to be isolated. Be close to the people. I know that I refuse to have any of my bodyguards in sight at all. I tell them, I don't want my people to see you. You just have to stay somewhere and watch out. But you can't flag people in front of out of my way, because that way you get isolated. And lastly, sharpen your debate and oversight skills. Your participation in respective committees gives you a training ground. If you want to be a great debater and a hawk-eyed member in relation to oversight matters, attend committee meetings and participate in committee meetings. It will make you a much better debater on the floor. Also, if it is not the matter is coming before the House and it was not before your committee, always the staff members and researchers at the parliamentary offices would be happy to give you notes and be able to take you through the issues. And therefore, make good use of them. They are extremely helpful. I recall a member in the 12th Parliament who never attended any committee meetings. One day, he was put to task on a matter being contributed to in the House. All he could say is, Nisawa. The member never made it back to the House, all because when he was asked whether he was okay with the squatters in some land in his constituency being evicted, his response was Nisawa. I hope you will not be in that category of Nisawa too, Mheshimiwa. Finally, I commend the acting clerk of the National Assembly, Madam Sarah Kiyoko, a long-standing parliamentary officer, and all the staff of Parliament for their efforts in preparing for the 13th Parliament, starting from the pre-swearing-in sessions that were executed well, and I request you to continue facilitating the honourable members with an elevated degree of proficiency, professionalism, and impartiality. And also, on my own behalf, I want to thank each and every one of you for electing me as the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. I am humbled by your great honor, and I promise never to let you down. That to receive your endorsement was great honor to me and a privilege, and I thank you for that. And I undertake to work with you daily to ensure that the 13th Parliament will be the very best Parliament ever. And I know with our Honorable Speaker, Moses Wetangula, we will get to great heights. With 30 years experience in his back, we can never fail.